Hello and welcome, Furry fam, to this week's episode of Furry Thoughts. It's not a new series, but that's what I'm naming it. It's going to be Furry Thoughts, and I'm your host, Solis the Wolf. Thank you so much for coming by. So, I just wanted to talk to you about how I think this fandom is the most accessible fandom when it comes to our more well-known or our popular furries versus other fandoms like comic books, movie actors, or even YouTubers kind of like Markiplier, PewDiePie, Logan Paul. Why did I have to mention that name? And I also want to talk to you about the do's and don'ts when you're trying to reach out to our popular members. There is do's and don'ts to this. When I look at our furry community, we have one edge against almost all the other fandoms in the world. Conventions. Our conventions aren't like the big YouTube conventions. It's not the big Twitch con. It's not International Film Festival, all these other things where YouTubers and actors and all these bigger names that you may be a fan of, they show up, but the event's not about them. You generally have to go to a booth to meet them. You stand in line for hours. You walk up, you give them you might get a quick hug, a quick selfie, and a picture. Which is amazing that people would spend their time to acknowledge their fans and their community and spend hours basically just sitting there doing fan service. I love it. It's amazing. But again, the furry fandom. Oh, I love it so much. We have our conventions where we're just furries walking around doing furry things. So our well-known popular furries are already there just to walk around and be furries. You don't have to worry about going to a convention and maybe not running into them. Because if you attend a major con and your favorite furry's there, your fursuit crush is there, you're most likely going to meet them. I'd say if you're walking the con floor, it's gotta be like a 90% chance that you'll run into them and you'll have the opportunity to say hi, get a small conversation in, maybe more depending on what's going on in that person's schedule that day. You'll at least get a photo, and it's really cool. So that's like the best benefit that I could say of being a furry and having this fandom is that your furry idols, the people that you look up to and the people that you subscribe to and like their content, or maybe you just love their fursuit and their character, they're just going to these conventions because they want to be there and they love just showing up and being themselves. So it's really cool. I love our fandom for that. It's all based around community. That's all our fandom is. It's community. So for the next topic, I wanted to kind of explain the do's and don'ts when you're trying to reach out to your favorite fursuiter or furry, either on Twitter or in real life if you're at a con. I didn't initially plan on putting this in the video because I didn't think it was a big of a thing. But after seeing a couple live streams and seeing some comments in chat and seeing a couple Twitter posts, it seems that there might be a couple things going on here to why you may not actually be getting tweeted back to, your tweet liked, or them seeing you in chat on stream. So, what is me, senpai? Why? So a couple people have actually kind of spoke about this. I know Cure the Wolf has, and a couple other big furries have, where their do's and don't videos at conventions and stuff. In real life, do's and don'ts, especially if they're fursuiting, don't just randomly hug them. Don't surprise anybody in fursuit. It's a bad idea. They don't see you. Their vision is very, very small. Even in this cat head, my vision, these eyes were much bigger than most fursuit heads. Has a blind spot. I can't see past here. Right here. So if you're right here to my left, I can't see my hand right now. If you're right here, and you come from the side and hit me, hug me up, snuggle me up, which I love, by the way, you're probably gonna scare the living crap out of me. Before you go up to anybody in fursuit, don't just hug them, especially from the side. Come up to them from the front, or at least say, hey, I'm blah blah blah. I'm Solis the Wolf. Can I get a hug with you? Say it loud enough so they can hear it. They will acknowledge you if they heard you, and then you can go from there. So then you also have to do this when they're out of fursuit. There's a lot of people that know what most of the major furries look like without their fursuits on. Probably still not a great idea just to walk up to them and hug them. They're gonna at least be able to see you at least, but getting hugged by a random stranger without any sort of context or conversation is kind of weird. Say hi. Now this will factor in a little bit to the social media aspect. Leading with a hi, can I have a hug? That's a great start. But I also want you to understand that you've also left nothing there for more conversation. So that leads up to a conversation of, you get the hug and they're going to be like, oh my God, thank you so much for watching my video. I really, and they might go into depth. It leaves the person the ability to extend the conversation, to give back to the conversation. If you just like, hi, hug. Okay, now what? Now we're just hugging awkwardly for how long? We're going to hold here for 25 seconds? Okay, or it's hi, hug, step back. Nice weather. So it's always good to kind of go in having something to say. You don't have to do anything crazy. Hi, I love your videos. That's enough. That's going to give something to start with. So I first want to say, I think we're extremely blessed when it comes to this furry fandom with how accessible most of the popular furries are on their social medias versus people like Markiplier, PewDiePie, and Jacksepticeye. And I quote them because those are just the names I follow, and those are the bigger names out there. Or movie actors and stuff, because their audience is too big. There's no way they can respond to everybody, and they never will. And it's sad to say that. They want to be a part of their communities, but they can't. When it comes to our furry fandom, because we're kind of more of a niche, we're more of a tight-knit community, even though there's hundreds of thousands of us, we still have this ability where not thousands and thousands of people are tweeting at our more popular members all the time. That's not to say that they don't have their notifications turned off, because I have a gut feeling that they probably have them muted. Because in my activity on furry Twitter, which I'm decently active, I have to mute my own notifications because at any point in time I could get a random bunch of likes and it would kill me if I was in the middle of sleep and that blew my phone up. And I've had my phone blow up because of me going through making a bunch of posts, and then next thing you know, half an hour later I just get a ton of likes and stuff. That blows up my phone and annoys me. And it's, again, not the community being annoying, it's just have your phone exploding while you're trying to do something is very disruptive, or recording a video, or, sleeping. So I could see why, our major members would have to mute your notifications. So you're probably going to lose some people's messages in that. The biggest thing I wanted to say was, it's the substance of your message. The substance of your message in real life is also going to correlate to what you say in your social medias. If you're sitting here, right parentheses, 20 minutes later, why haven't they responded to my tweet yet? Well, then I have an idea of why they didn't respond to your tweet. You're going to get a lot of reactionary posts on Twitter. You're going to get a lot of smiley faces, you got this. There's a lot of tweets you're going to get, depending on the post. Most of them, if they're positive, you're going to get positive reactions. They probably read your comment. The problem is they probably got 200 of very similar comments. Now, I don't say you shouldn't, as a furry member, not just hit that like button on all of them just to acknowledge that you saw it, but after a while I could see why. Hey, oh, he said cool, scroll. Or you're just scrolling through to see where the substance is. If you don't really add anything to the conversation of the post, or if you don't ask a question or really give any substance, then they're not really going to have the opportunity to reply to you. They could put ... question mark or okay period. If they do that to every single comment, they're never going to leave their phone. They will be on their phone 24/7, and again, kind of like the live streams, they'll get nothing done. Leaving substance in your comments, and this means on any sort of way you want to interact with your content creator that you follow, reacting is fine, and they really appreciate any sort of reaction to their posts. But because of how many notifications they get and how many very similar comments they're going to get, they're probably just kind of going to keep scrolling. If you have substance, you might get noticed and you have a better chance. And how I've been talking makes it seem like, oh my god, these people never they never comment back to people. I think that's very untrue. I'm pretty active on the furry Twitter because I want to be an active member of our community and I want to add to conversation. And with what I've done, I've gotten a ton of likes and a ton of replies from more well-known names from furry Twitter. I didn't find it hard. It's just a lot of just making sure you ask them a question, adding to the conversation, and just being proactive in the community. I think it's really cool. I think I've been able to talk to a lot of people so my initial thought when I came into furry Twitter, when it came to Majira Strawberry or some of the bigger names, I figured, there's no way they're going to tweet me back or anything. What I found out very quickly is as long as you're tweeting something or in the other social medias, as long as you're adding some substance, that gives them the option to reply to you. I think that's what really comes down to all this. I think our furry fandom is very open, is one of the best fandoms in the world, and I think all of our popular members want to stay that way. I think they want to stay very close-knit with this community. I think they want to talk and reply to everybody, but give them an option to reply. Give them a reason to reply to you. And so when it comes to those people that are making those posts in live chats or making those posts on the other social medias, Twitter and all that, saying, oh my god, they ignored me, I hate that. I have a feeling it comes down to what you said. I can't say that for everything. There are cases where comments are just missed, or maybe just depending on their mood, they didn't want to reply. Instead of just going up to your fursuiter and saying, notice me senpai, or huff me daddy, maybe start off the conversation with, I love your content you've made, your art, your videos, or I love your fursuit, how did you choose the colors? By asking that question, by asking and commenting on the content they create, you're giving that person the ability to respond and an option to continue a conversation. I know that this video is kind of all over the place. I'm doing this with limited time. I should have gave myself more time to record this video. I might come back to this and try and do a better, well-polished video. But for now, I think we've done well. I love the furry fandom. I love that because of how our conventions are set up and based around a community, that our more well-known members are at those conventions just naturally, and you have a very good chance of running into them and being able to talk to them. I love that, honestly, it's been a great experience on furry Twitter so far when it comes to not only just talking to the furry community, but also I've had no problems talking to the bigger names out there. So if you're new here, please hit that subscribe button. I'm doing a lot of variety videos right now. I've got several series. This is Furry Thoughts. I have Meeting the Furry Fandom, Stories of a Fur. I'm doing quick skits, which means I'm just going to make up random skits, and they're going to be very quick, funny videos, as well as I plan on doing some Let's Plays. I'm going to start off with Clace's Major Minor playthrough. It's a visual novel, so I'll be doing a lot of reading. I want to use a lot of my voices that I can come up with. On the spot, of course, it's going to be crazy. And remember, everybody, this is our community. And being this YouTube channel, I'm just a guy making content. You guys are what matter. Leaving a like and sharing this video is the lifeblood of this community. Talking about this channel, talking about me, is how this community is going to grow. And I appreciate everybody that has subscribed so far. And if you want to catch my live streams, you gotta hit that notification bell, because I do them randomly. I might start doing more morning streams, because when I get home off of my overnight job at 7 a.m., I'm usually up for a couple hours, and I figured I might just do furry podcast, video podcast on YouTube. If you want to catch my live streams, definitely hit that notification bell. Thank you all for subscribing. I wish I could give all you guys a hug in real life, but instead, give yourself a hug or a pat on the back from me. Love you, fuzzbutts.